was the woman everyone admired, always smiling, always calm, always strong. People thought she had everything under control, but no one knew that when the lights went off, when the house became silent, when the world stopped watching, she cried alone every single night. She smiled every day, but she cried alone every night. Her name was Sarah. She was 35 years old. She wasn't famous. She wasn't rich. She wasn't extraordinary in the eyes of the world. She was just a single mother trying to survive. 5 years ago, her husband died in a sudden road accident. Life didn't pause for her grief. It didn't give her time to heal. She was left with a small son, Daniel, and a mountain of responsibilities: school fees, rent, bills, and the constant fear. What will happen to my son if I fall apart? That fear forced her to look strong, even when she was completely broken inside. Sarah woke up every morning before the alarm rang, not because she wanted to, but because her mind never truly rested. She prepared breakfast quietly, not wanting to wake Daniel. She helped him get ready for school, fixed his hair, and smiled as she said, "Come on, we're getting late." Daniel felt safe around her. To him, his mother was unbreakable. Then Sarah went to work. At the office, she laughed with coworkers, completed her tasks, and answered every question with the same words, "I'm fine." But the truth was, she wasn't living. She was only surviving. People often said to her, "You're such a strong woman." Some even said, "You inspire us." Sarah smiled politely, but inside those words hurt, because strength had become a prison. She believed that if she stopped being strong, even for one day, everything would collapse. She knew how to smile, she knew how to talk, but she had forgotten how to feel joy. She kept telling herself, "It's just stress, it's just tiredness, it will pass." But it didn't. At night, everything changed. Daniel went to sleep, the house grew quiet, and Sarah was left alone with her thoughts. She lay on her bed, staring at the ceiling. Memories returned without permission: her husband's laughter, his voice, the future they had planned together. Tears rolled down her face. She cried silently, no sobbing, no sound, because she believed strong women cried quietly. Sarah never called it depression. She thought depression was for weak people. She thought she was just tired. But depression doesn't always look like sadness. Sometimes it looks like responsibility. Sometimes it looks like strength. She stopped enjoying things she once loved. She felt empty even in crowded rooms. Sometimes a terrifying thought crossed her mind: if I disappear, would anyone notice? That thought scared her, but she buried it deep inside and smiled again the next morning. One afternoon at work, her colleague Emily looked at her closely and said, "Sarah, you smile all the time, but your eyes look exhausted. Are you really okay?" It was a simple question, but something inside Sarah broke. Her eyes filled with tears. She stayed silent for a moment. Then, for the first time, she spoke the truth. "No, I'm not okay. I'm tired. I'm falling apart." Those words felt heavy, but also freeing. Emily didn't judge her. She didn't rush her. She listened. She told Sarah something she had never believed: being strong doesn't mean being alone. A few weeks later, Sarah spoke to a counselor. In the very first session, she cried like she hadn't cried in years. She realized she had been carrying her pain alone for far too long. Slowly, she began to understand herself. She learned that rest was not failure, that emotions were not weakness. One night, Sarah watched Daniel sleeping, and a painful realization hit her. If I don't save myself, how will I protect my son? That night, she made a decision. She would still be a mother, but she would allow herself to be human, a human with limits, with emotions, with pain. Months later, Sarah still smiled, but this smile was different. It wasn't forced. It wasn't hiding pain. She had learned something important. Pain doesn't disappear when you hide it. It heals when you share it. She understood that real strength is not fighting alone, but allowing others to help you. If you're listening to this story and you smile every day, but cry alone every night, please remember this. You are not weak. You are not alone. And asking for help might be the bravest thing you ever do.